Today we're making something that's going to be absolutely delicious. We're taking a pork loin, we've brined it, we're putting some sauce on it. Take a look at this guy. It's going to be delicious. Let's get into it. What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake, and today we've got ourselves a pork loin that we've brined. And as you can hear, the yoder's rolling. We've been at this for a little while. I want to bring you up to speed. Before we can do that, let's talk about this pork loin. Now, pork loin is one of those things where you get a whole 9 or 10 pounder and you can cook the whole thing or you can chop into pieces. For this particular one, I chopped it into 3 different pieces. One I'm going to use for another video, the other one I'm going to store for a later date, but I grabbed the center cut. From there, what I did is I started to trim off the fat cap. Now, this is completely optional. Let me tell you why I did it. The reason I did it is because we're going to brine, but I put it in the brine early this morning and I was only going to have like 3 hours in the brine, and I wanted that brine to be able to hit that meat from all sides. So if you had more time and you could brine it for 5-6 hours, maybe even overnight, then I would leave that fat cap on, right? Because what's going to happen, that fat cap would actually protect your pork a little bit, but because I was low on time, I decided to take it off. So we grabbed ourselves some Sweetwater Spice Company butt and rib bath. This is a brine concentrate. This particular one is smoked apple spice, and this will brine up to 15 pounds of meat, right? So you take 1 bottle and you start to mix some water into it. You can mix up to 5 bottles of water with it, and that'll give you your mixed concentrate. Now, because I'm doing a shorter brine, I only use 2 bottles of water in it. Right? So it's more of a concentrate, but we're doing it in a short period of time. So I just decided to ramp up the flavor a little bit and use the whole bottle. Then what I did is I put the pork into a Ziploc bag, gallon bag. We put our brine in there. We added some water in there. And then what I did is I put that bag inside of another bag. When I've got a whole bunch of brine like that, I typically like to put it inside 2 bags because I've had more than 1 bag get caught on the shelf or something like that and tear, or just have a leaky bag. So it just makes it easier if you put them in 2 bags, and that way you don't have a mess later on. Then what happened is we left that in the fridge for about 3.5 hours. We came outside, uncovered the yoder. Today we're using some Bear Mountain pecan pellets. I put the pellets in the hopper. We filled up our smoke tube, and then we lit our smoke tube. We got that good and going. Remember, once you light it, let it go for a minute or 2 or 3, and that way it'll just ensure that it's not going to burn out halfway through your cook. Then I powered on the yoder. We set the yoder at 250 today. We're gonna take our time, and I put that ice cold meat directly on the top rack and close it up. So now we're about an hour in to cook. Let's have a look at our pork loin. Looking pretty good. You can see this edge is getting a little crispy. This is why you trim your edge. If you have a hard edge and there's a little bit left, that's why they tell you to kind of make your meat aerodynamic. This is 50-50 water, apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna spray our pork loin about every 30 minutes. 50-50 water, apple cider vinegar, just keep that rolling. Just open it up, give it a spray, close it, keep your temperatures up, but we're gonna do it every 30 minutes because there's no fat cap on there, and it's gonna dry out a little quicker than normal, right? This is already a really lean cut of meat. Don't worry about it, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make up a barbecue sauce to go on the outside, and that's gonna add a lot of flavor into the meat, and it's gonna help tenderize it for the later part of the cook, and we're gonna wrap it in foil, so it's still gonna be nice and juicy. You just wanna keep the outside nice and moist so that it doesn't dry out too quickly. So our pork loin is moving along quite nicely. We are, how far in are we? That's a great question, Jake. Let's see what time I started my yoder at. We're 3 hours and 1 minute in. All right, so the pork is done. It's actually at 140. It got away from me a little bit. I would have wanted to pull it off at 130, but we're gonna hurry up and mix up a sauce here real quick. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put a little bit of honey in here. I have these bottles in my Amazon store. They're super handy to have. And the great thing is I put all kinds of red sauces in them, and they never, you know, they don't change the color. They come up clean. Just need some apple cider vinegar, which is right here. You just rinse them right off. The barbecue sauce doesn't stick to them at all. Just gonna break down this honey a little bit. And they have a lid on them, right? So you can just pop the lid on there. Pretty good. And I'm gonna say that was probably, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon of honey. A tablespoon of, not quite a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, but I still need some sauce in there. We'll see where we end up. Just grab your favorite barbecue sauce. What we'll do is we will put in a little bit more, and that'll round us up to be a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I mean, this is, obviously I'm not measuring stuff. This is eyeballing. This is backyard barbecue, not perfection. So what we're gonna do here is we are going to get our pork. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it in heavy duty foil twice. There we go. And you can see it definitely went a little higher than I wanted. I must have pushed it in too far. Let's see if that comes across. 137, 136. So it's not too bad. I hit it at 140. I must have gone a little too far. So that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So anyhow, what we're gonna do here is we're going to just let this finish cooking in this delicious barbecue sauce. And actually, if I was smart, which I like to think I am, I'm gonna get some underneath. Ollie, like, dude, oh, we're getting, yeah, oh, that's good. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna wrap this up super tight to keep the sauce around it. Like that. Want to keep it surrounded in that sauce. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let this guy sit like this for a good 30 minutes. Pork is done at 145. This is going to carry over those 10 degrees, no problem in that time. And between now and then, I'm going to figure out whether or not I'm going to put this back on the Yoder and let this sauce tack up or serve it how it is. All right, time to see how we did. Let's open this guy up. Oh yeah, man. Tell me that doesn't look good. Let's get this out of here. I'm gonna keep this sauce close by because I may want some of this. It smells absolutely delicious. So the color is gorgeous. It's nice red to it. Now I said I was gonna decide whether or not I was gonna kind of sear the outside a little bit or just leave it as it is. And force of habit, I turned the Yoder off as I was taking this off. So I made the decision without even thinking about it. So we're gonna try this how it is. I think it's gonna be good because we got some dipping sauce here. Let's just cut right into this guy. Oh yeah. Hopefully you can see some of the moisture. I don't want to squeeze it all out, but this guy is looking good. Let's have a little taste, shall we? That's what we're here for. Oh yeah. We'll try it without our sauce here. You can see a nice little smoke ring here all the way around the outside. Beautiful. It is ridiculously tender and juicy, with one caveat. You can tell on this top edge, like if I have another piece here without this top edge, just to prove my theory here. Yeah. Let me just try some a little bit here with our sauce here. Look at me, I brought out a brush. I'm just gonna dip that bad boy in there. Oh yeah. That, my friends, is pretty darn good. It's near perfect. The only little caveat here is that I definitely should have left that fat cap on and just put it in the brine last night. And then that way I would have got the flavor I was looking for. I tried to cheat and fast track it, and you can't cheat barbecue, folks. I paid the price a little bit, but luckily we can just cut off that top little piece of meat on the top. The rest of it is absolutely perfect. You got yourself a dipping sauce. I mean, what more could you ask for? And I mean, it's an inexpensive piece of meat. If you like some pork, try something like this. This will make your mouth happy. Real quick, you might have noticed the fans on the Yoder were a little louder today. If you want to find out why, I'll show you in this video. I put the new fans in and I'd show you the whole process right there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.